Flamecastlive. Oh yeah, you and your feelings. They must be in their feelings. Oh yeah, you and your feelings. Over there with the mean mug. Come on, they in their feelings. You know, they in their feelings. Hold up. Oh, you are now tapped in.
Mixshow Podcast and Flamecast Live.
We tap back in for another one. Oh yeah, you and your feelings. Cause you big mad, you and your feelings. Oh yeah, how y'all doing out there? Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're at. Oh yeah, you and your feelings. They must be in their feelings. Oh yeah, you and your feelings. And we got another one here. We back with another one here. You see the title. Come on, they in their feelings. You know, they in their feelings. Hold up. Streams versus substance. Are we listening or are we just scrolling? You know, back again, you know, with another one. Pick up where we left off yesterday. Oh yeah. And yeah, we back at it again talking about these streams, talking about substance. And what I mean by, you know, are we listening or are we just scrolling? And like I said, all this, including myself, you know, because I find myself doing the same thing as far as scrolling. And, you know, my question and thoughts, and like I said, I'm fascinated by this new shift we're in, again, you know, is the music we making as producers and artists, is it becoming background noise, right? You know, is it just a thing that plays in the background? Like, are we moving into an era where just don't nobody really give a damn? You know, about how the music is made, who wrote it. It's just how many streams and views did it do right off rip? Come on, they in their feelings. And that is the reflection and basis of if it's good. And because I still remember that time where it was like, I still like, and even now you can do it, but we're so, once again, we're focused on the viral moment, but that slow burn. There used to be a time where things just slow burn. It bubbles up slow, right? That single or that new sound, you know, or that new track that may be coming from a region that's unheard of, right? And it takes a slow burn to build up, and then the next thing you know, people will be like, oh, that was an overnight success, but really it wasn't. It took time. Now that's gone, right? And we traded that in for the instant viral. So now we get that instant fame, and you might get a few micro payments, right? But does it just quickly become noise, right? And that's where we're at, you know, because we all be doom scrolling and just to find whatever we're looking for, you know. But my thing has been like, is this music becoming just background noise and unimportant, you know? I like to think it's important. I love the art form and the craft work, and I love production and producing music and doing it authentically, you know, and trying to, you know, although I do incorporate my tools that I use with this new tech, you know, but there's a limit that I have too on how and when to use it and where to use it and when to implement it and yada yada. But I just been thinking about this because where do we find the substance at? Is there any substance? Is everything just streams of everything and anything, right? And there is really no substance, although as an individual you can find some substance out of it. You might have to dig through all this content to find whatever, Now granted, I'm not talking to us who know what we like and want, and we know how to go search and discover the things. I'm talking about, and even still you're going to get bombarded, right? But I'm talking about the people who just on the feed timeline and just scrolling. Are these people looking for anything meaningful, or is it just a scroll just to see whatever is popping, whatever eye candy? Back again, if we're just basing our discovery off eye candy, when do we engage if it has any substance or not, right? Because if it's just all eye candy and ear candy and it doesn't really serve any purpose anymore, you know what I mean? It's kind of like candy, the purpose of candy is that sweet, it's a sweet taste, and you eat it, swallow it, and it's a wrap. And you either pop in another one or, and you are now listening to the new Flamecast Live. And I say that even with movies too, right? Like a lot of times you watch a movie once and you're pretty much done with it, except for the rare exceptions that it may be your favorite movie, but you're not watching it back to back, but you may watch it more than one time. Once again, it becomes background noise because you're playing in the background and you're paying attention to it, but you're not necessarily watching it. Same with music, I feel like everything is background music and nobody's necessarily listening. And I find myself the same way too, after a minute or two of the song, I'm ready to move on. Versus 15, 20 years ago, the habit was to kind of let the song play through. Unless you just wasn't feeling it, then you could just skip to the next, right? But I'm just perplexed by it, I'm just perplexed by it. But you tapped in right now, Flamecast Live, Flame Squad check-in, you know what it is. And we talking streams versus substance. Are we listening? Are we just scrolling? Is autoplay, does that mess up anything? Did shorts and reels really shorten up whatever attention we do have?
Flame Squad official.
And are any of us truly really connecting to artists, or are we just connecting to songs? Or are we just connecting to clips of songs? You know what I mean? It's like how we consume and digest it is definitely different. And like I said, I'm not mad or happy about it. I just want to talk about it, right? And try to understand it. It's not even about good versus bad or good this, good that, bad that, bad. I'm just, how do we find the benefits right now, you know what I mean, in this current situation? And that's all, these few episodes that I'll be putting out is just dealing with. Where do we find the benefits, from this new terrain we're in? How do we identify situations that may be problematic, and how do we find a solution for it? You know, as an artist, as a producer, you know. You tapped in. Oh yeah, you and your feelings. Now you big mad, you and your feelings. You big mad, you and your feelings. Over there with the sob story. So yeah, man, I just... It's just been on my mind, right? All this been on my mind, and just because I'm a producer, you already know, and I'm trying to find the benefits of maneuvering through this new terrain, you know? So it's interesting to me, this, you know, we're live streaming now. You know, live streaming is like the new album, kind of, you know? And as a producer or artist, I had to find live streaming to another way to communicate my craft and art form, you know? And as you see, everybody, all of us, everybody in the globe is trying to find a way to direct some of their energy, you know what I mean? And make it useful, and hopefully people find some value in it or find some inspiration in it. But back on topic though, you know, so I say this, you know, about the scrolling and the substance and streams, is that even when we drop new songs and artists drop new stuff, it's pretty much like a 7-day window. That's what it feels like. You know, I know that's not the law of how it goes, but it feels like, you know, that 7-day window, then things start disappearing. And unless you're a major, you know, some major artist that could, you know, that it continues to track week after week until it begins to fade out, right? But like I said, we talked earlier about the replay value, you know, even with, like I said, the movies. A lot of times you watch a movie once and it's a wrap. You're not necessarily watching it again unless you put that movie in your select, you know, collection, as that's something I will rewatch at a later time when there's nothing else to watch, right? It ain't like you're just, you know. And the same for the music. You know, you tell me, how many albums have you replayed in the last 2 years, 3 years, that you constantly go back and replay? How many songs have you replayed, you know? Unless it's on your playlist, right? If it's on your playlist, then it's in constant rotation. You come back to it. And I think that's how people are consuming the replay and that revalue of that music is through the playlist, which ain't nothing but a mixtape, right? And it's plugged in with other things, right? I mean, which brings another thing up too, just in terms of there's not a lot of timeless records now being created, right? I mean, you got to ask yourself, wherever you're at right now in your life, and whatever you're listening to right now in your life, is that something you would listen to 25 years from now? You know, 10 years from now? Is that something you'll listen to 5 years from now, right? Like, these are the answers, like, when you're making music, even for me as a producer, that I got to ask, like, even though I think the stuff that I do, or I feel the stuff that I do is niche, you know, it's real how an artist, producer looks at his own art. Because I don't, you know, once I make it and put it out, I don't listen to it again other than, like, you know, we're listening now because it's background music. Here we go again, right? I'm playing it as background music in the hopes that you'll hear it and be like, yeah, what's that he playing? let me go cop that, right? And then I think you should go cop my music, right? Or go search me out on YouTube Music and platforms, or go to the website at flamesquad.com, right? But I'm just trying to understand, peeps. Flamecastlive. And like I said, streams first substance is it the death of the full experience, right? Or is it just another experience, right? I just released some music with my guy Afro Preacher, right? Where we did the single, the mixtape, and the live stream. You bundle it. So I definitely, there's benefits. You just have to find, it's up to you as an artist or producer to find the value, and then try to find a place or eyes or ears where people are at to connect and attach to it, And sometimes it does take a minute, It's like anything, But I don't know. Is that full experience dead? It's albums and intros and skits. But some of the artists like Redman, those skits are still prevalent in the music, So I just think, in a time where everything is so microwavable, it's easy to go right for the, and just, I dig it, I don't necessarily agree all the time, but because we be scrolling and swiping. Like that's what we do now, right? Scrolling and swiping. All day. So it's just interesting to me. It's just very interesting. Numbers, back again, numbers versus connection, streams versus substance. It's streaming, but does it has that substance to it, some weight to it, And granted, some things are just party music. That's okay. Some things are just vibe music, mood music. I'm all good with that. I'm just saying, is it heavy on whatever it is doing? Is it heavy? Is it resonating? Is it connecting? How do we make our music connect more? When things are so popular, how do you, do you as an underground producer or artist break through that noise? Back again, numbers versus connection. Does numbers really equal connection, right? Are we moving back? At least this is what I feel. This in my heart, I feel like 100 is the new 1,000, right? 50 is like the new 100. 25 is the new 50. I'm talking about numbers. I'm not talking about age. I'm talking about, should we be more concerned about, I'm just trying to get 25 people. I'm just trying to get 50 people. 50 is the new 100 people, right? 100 people is the new 500 people, right? Getting 2 people is like getting 5 people, right? and so thinking micro, maybe that's the leap to macro, right? Thinking small could be the new way to get big. I mean, I think it always have been, right? When we start talking about direct to consumer, direct to fan, it's one at a time. It's small numbers, and building that connection, however you do it, however we're trying to do it, because there is no right way. It's just each artist got to find that path. Yeah. So within all that, I'm just trying to say, what is defining success within all this new micro, macro terrain we're in, Like I said, I'm intrigued and interested by all this new technology and this algorithm and how we just letting these scripts, back end code dictate, the feed, what's being shown, and how do you make that work for you? It's real, people. How do you get that fan loyalty from all this? How do you draw emotional connection from all this? Is it through the live streams and live shows, right? And back to live shows. Should you be focusing on getting 5 people to the shows instead of worrying about trying to get 25, 30, 40, 50 people to your shows, right? Because it's hard right now. People don't got the money, right? So when we start talking about supporting, right, with the gas prices and just where we at in this particular country, America, I think it's hard for, the regular just to be supporting whatever because of the money constraints we're dealing with right now, So look. This is just real talk, And like I said, it's been on my mind, and I just, I'm talking about it, right? And I'm just letting off some things. But you tapped in. Flamecast Live. Oh yeah, you and your feelings. Now you big mad, you and your feelings. You big mad, you and your feelings.
Flame Squad Mix Show at Flame Squad DJ MC. Follow the band. Flamecast.live.
Oh yeah. Your feelings. We out of here. Speeding their feelings. Oh yeah, you and your feelings over there with the mean mug. Come on. They ain't feeling. Hold up. Are you in your feelings?